going on, Phenom fam? Welcome back to the YouTube channel, and in today's video I wanted to talk about why I think that that pre-ordering games is bad for gaming as a whole, as a community, and I'm going to explain it pretty in depth, and these are just my opinions. Let me know what you guys think down below about your opinions on pre-orders after watching this video. But I'm going to be talking about, like I said, why I think pre-ordering games is bad, and what exactly I think it's causing in the game community, and I don't know. But let's get right into it. I think that pre-orders are actually very, very bad for the gaming community, and I feel like it's making gaming kind of a toxic, more money-greedy place than it's ever been. Not saying that before gaming wasn't about money to developers, but now it's just becoming more and more just about money and about nothing else. Not about good rep for your game, not about good rep for you as a company, but how much money you have in your bank account. Now, one of the main reasons I think this is, for the most part, I feel like pre-ordering games has really become a lot more popular over the past 5 to 7 years, about, I'd say. And also within the past 5 to 7 years, we've seen a much higher rash of games being released and being broken, basically unplayable, very buggy on the day of launch. And not only just the day of launch, but also not having them fixed for a week, 2 weeks, sometimes months after the game has released. And the reason I think that this is pre-ordering's fault, I mean, obviously, yes, it's partially the developer's fault, but the reason I think it stems from pre-ordering games is because of the fact that when you pre-order games, whether it's from GameStop, whether it's from Amazon, the PlayStation Store, the Xbox Live Marketplace, Steam, your local game store called like Games and Flames or something, I don't know what your local game store is called, but pre-ordering from any game store of any kind, whether digital, physical, whatever, pre-ordering gives the company that makes the game, whatever developer it is. For instance, let's say you pre-order Black Ops 3, all of your money when you put that pre-order down goes right to Treyarch at the moment of pre-order. So in turn, not saying that Treyarch's going to do this, but for something maybe like, let's just go with Battlefield 4, because that was infamously broken on launch. For all the people that pre-ordered Battlefield 4, EA and DICE got all of the money from pre-orders months before, well, like whenever people pre-ordered. So let's just say, I don't know, let's say like 25% of the total people that buy a game pre-order it and get it on launch day. The people that pre-order it, the developers have your money whenever you pre-order it. So let's say, for instance, I pre-ordered, I put $5 down on a Black Ops 3 in June, I think. So in June, Treyarch already had my $5. So let's say 25% of the people that actually end up buying the game pre-ordered. The company and the developers and the publisher already have 25% of the total money they're going to make off the game before the game even comes out. So for most games, 25% of the total money they're going to make has already made them profit from the money they spent to make the game. So in turn, they don't care what the game is like when it launches, because the only people that have to worry about it are the people that have already spent their money, and that EA or whoever already has the people's money that pre-ordered and got it on launch day. So for instance, maybe in like 2 weeks, when they actually fix the game, then they'll start getting more money. But for those 2 weeks, they don't really, like, that first 2 weeks, they don't really care. Because usually there's, like, with gaming, if there's people that are excited for a game, or when people want to buy a game, usually, as long as they have the money, there's the people that go out and pre-order and get the game on day one. And then there's, like, the other group of people that are still excited about the game, but they're waiting for a review or maybe to play it at a friend's house and see what they think, or whatever. There's always that one group of people that are excited for the game that pre-order, and there's the other group that waits about a week or two to get it. Those people that wait a week or two are at an advantage because usually, unless the developer really don't care about their game, the game honestly should be fixed by then, hopefully. And I think that pre-ordering is a problem because of that reason. And I feel like developers give you those pre-order bonuses to entice you to pre-order the game, and I think that's not helping at all. Especially because obviously they're going to give you... Ow. I just destroyed my knee off the desk. But obviously they're going to give you the incentive to pay ahead of time because they get your money ahead of time. So that's just one more person they don't need to worry about come launch day because they already have your money. And I feel like personally I've known this for a while, and I've thought about this for a while. So now anymore, I will never pay, like, even since I started pre-ordering games. I think the first game I ever pre-ordered was Mortal Kombat 9, or, well, it was just named Mortal Kombat, but it was the 9th Mortal Kombat game in, like, the main series. And that came out April, I think it was 18th, 2011, something like that. Something like that. So that was the first game I ever pre-ordered. And I put $5 down on it, and then the day that I picked it up, I paid the other $55. And I feel like, while that isn't really helping, because before I even could hear anything about the game, the developers are still getting my money on day one, but at least I feel like that entices them at least slightly to make the game better, because they have to wait for their money, they have to work for it. Now, I'm not saying to wait 2 weeks to buy the game that you're excited for, but what I am saying is that I feel like, I'm not saying it's our fault that games released broken. I'm still saying it's the developer's fault. But I'm saying we're not making it any harder of a decision for them to just rush the game out the door when they already have like 20% of people's money. I hope you guys understand what I'm saying. But I think pre-ordering is a kind of a problem, and I don't necessarily say it should stop, because either way, even if you go out and buy it on day one without pre-ordering, they're still getting your money. So I don't really know what to do to fix the issue of broken games being released, and I still really would like to assume that it stems from pre-ordering games, but I don't know. Let me know what you guys think about pre-ordering games and the recent string of broken games on launch. There are even like at least I think 2 or 3 broken games have launched just within the past month. I mean, it's October 1st, so from September 1st to October 1st, definitely 2, maybe even 3 games have launched, like, basically almost unplayable. And one I know for certain is Forza 6, because I know a lot of people were having a problem with the story mode, or the career mode, or whatever it's called in Forza 6, I don't know what it's called, where some people get to a certain, like, race in the thing, like, pretty close to the beginning of the campaign or career or whatever, and like their game would just crash and the save would corrupt or whatever. I don't know if that's fixed, but I know a lot of people are having issues with that. I also know that Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 5, which just launched 2 days ago, if I remember correctly. Yeah, it launched on Tuesday, today's Thursday, that makes sense. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 5, which launched 2 days ago, is also having a rough patch with bugs and glitches. And I just feel like this needs to end somewhere. Because eventually, if we keep, like, my theory is if we keep letting developers get away with releasing these games broken, then eventually it's just gonna, like, eventually games are just gonna be released in, like, alpha, where, like, half the textures aren't even rendered, and, like, half of the map isn't even accessible on a game. And then just eventually through updates, like 6 to 8 months later, the game will be completely finished. So I don't know. Those are just my opinions on pre-ordering games and broken games at launch. I think the developers really need to stop this, just because it's, if people are willing to have enough faith in you to give you their money before launch, you should at least think as a game developer, like, hey, this game, like, we should want to show people that this game was worth putting the $60 down, like, 6 months early, or whatever. The only thing, like, I understand pre-ordering special editions, because obviously they're limited edition, and you need to, like, have, like, them reserved for people, but I honestly don't really understand pre-ordering, like, games, like regular editions of games, other than for the pre-order bonus. Because I would honestly not pre-order games if it wasn't for the pre-order bonus. I would just go pick them up. To be completely honest, the only game I'm gonna be a hypocrite about and actually put all $60 down before the game comes out is Black Ops 3, and that's only because I'm getting the game digitally, so I don't have any choice whether or not to put down, like, $20 or whatever. But those are my opinions. Like I said, guys, thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to subscribe for more Top 10 Tuesday, Top 5 Friday, Phenom Platinums, and Phenom Podcast, and anything else you're enjoying on the channel. Thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to pack a punch that like button. Be sure to subscribe. And guys, thank you guys so much for watching. Again, Phenom out.